Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. If it's Wednesday, it must be wow time. I am so grateful that you are popping in to get your midweek boost of motivation, education, and inspiration. For those of you who may not know, I am Nancy Matthews, and I am one of the co-founders of Women's Prosperity Network, along with my two sisters. And when I say sisters, I've got lots of sisters in the family of Women's Prosperity Network, but my business partners and the co-founders, we're actual blood sisters, same mother, same father, grew up in Brooklyn, New York together. We get the privilege of working together and hanging out with all of you, highlighting so many of you who are up to amazing things in the world that contribute to the betterment of all. So we're delighted to have you with us today. And today I get to feature one of our members, Debra L. Morrison, and we're going to be talking about permission to prosper. Could I be denying myself permission to prosper? I don't know. We're going to find out as soon as we dive into today's episode. Right before I bring Debra on, let me share a couple of quick announcements. First of all, tonight, January 26th, we are hosting a symposium for my latest business venture, I guess you would call it, my latest contribution to humanity and society, which is the People Skills Academy. And this is an opportunity for us to have conversations and learn from experts on how to improve our people skills. So tonight's symposium is absolutely free. You can join us by simply going to the People Skills Academy.com. And I do wish you would join us as we come together in the spirit of getting along better in the world. And don't you think we need more of that? And the way to have more of that is to be more of that. So do join us tonight for the People Skills Academy Symposium. Next week, it's the first Tuesday of the month. And for our members, our gold and platinum members in Women's Prosperity Network, mark it down, 12 p.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. Eastern for your gold members only connections, conversations, and coaching calls. So be sure you got that on your calendar, and we'll see you next Tuesday. And then right now, in this moment, you get to meet Debra L. Morrison, who since 1978, she has been featured on CNN, ABC, TEDx stations, all about deciphering complex financial concepts with heartfelt empathy, wit, and wisdom. She will delight you, she will educate you, and she will get you inspired with specific strategies to give yourself permission to prosper. She is a 43-year plus financial industry expert who now focuses on coaching women to enjoy the lives that they want with security and freedom. She's the founder of Women Navigating Finances, and she's with us today. Welcome, Debra.
Thank you, Nancy. It's my pleasure to be here.
I am delighted that we're having this conversation today. And it's interesting, Debra, because I was thinking in getting ready today, so many people begin the year, right? So we're just coming off of, I think people finally stopped saying Happy New Year, but maybe not. We're just coming off all of those New Year's resolutions, wishes, and intentions, and this is going to be the year. And statistically, kind of by the end of the month, people's belief or passion in it has kind of waned a little bit. So don't you think it's time for us all to have permission to prosper? So dial in, Debra, and let us know, what does that mean? How do we do that?
Well, thanks, Nancy. And I couldn't agree more. It is past time for us, particularly as women, to give ourselves permission to prosper. And I know when people hear that word prosper, they conjure up economic, like this kind of thing, right? Or maybe better yet, this kind of thing, right? And I want us to dial into the expansiveness of prosper, because it absolutely has to do with our inner strengths and feeding and watering and growing our soul capacity. And so I want us to talk about prospering and giving ourselves the permission. Now, here we have been in various stages of lockdown for a couple of years, pandemic lockdown, looking for permission, typically from authorities, as to how and when we may resume what we called everyday normal activities, right? And it's impacted our personal lives, something serious, and it's impacted our businesses. Whether we're W-2, salary, or entrepreneurial, particularly entrepreneurial, because we are tasked with the company that we have created ourselves, having been the founder, right? And so let's take ourselves back to permission, that word permission. Let's go back to when we were kids, right? You raised your hand. Teacher, may I have a permission to go to the bathroom, right? And to enter a meeting or a Zoom now, right? Or to record a meeting, or to take notes when someone's speaking. We typically ask permission, and then we are given, generally, consent or authority to go ahead with that which we have asked. And so my TEDx talk is rife with a whole host of emphasis on the socialization that particularly women have received around money and financial and economic prosperity. And so I want to convey that it's not our fault, women, that we may start or somehow revert back to some rather unimpressive and downright negative, and I might indicate various stages of deadly allergies to prosperity. So here we're going to talk today about how we can shift that, right? How we can shift that, because we are adults and we can move beyond that which we've been socialized with intention. It's not going to happen like that.
Well, and I think so. Wow, first of all. And I think it's a matter of us getting in the habit of first recognizing, am I waiting for permission to be successful? Am I waiting for permission to be happy? Am I waiting for permission to be financially free? And if so, from who?
Exactly.
And so I think this concept of permission to prosper in all areas of our life is really key for us to recognize, because I can say, oh, do I need permission to go get that speaking engagement? Do I need permission to go after that, big client or joint venture opportunity? Like, what are we waiting for? And what you talked about earlier, this conditioning, it's like operating under the surface. I don't think, I've recognized it before. And I'm pretty self-aware, but this is a beautiful new layer to bring in, and goes to, we must always be learning and growing about ourselves and how we're interacting in the world, and specifically with our money and our finances. And I know this is why you have actually transitioned from, you sold your business, you retired from financial planning with clients, but you didn't stop there. Talk for a moment. Then we're going to give everybody some strategies and tips on giving yourself permission to prosper. But what is it that has you keep going? Because quite frankly, I know you don't have to do this.
Yeah.
You could be retired, sitting on your boat, hanging out in Florida.
Exactly. Well, I'm driven to leverage the experience that I have, and certainly wisdom, in terms of having been in touch with various of my individual clients, and of course being aware of the magnitude of the influence of money within our society, certainly as Americans and clearly worldwide. And what is propelling me to continue is that light bulb that I see go off in women's eyes, right? Even on a Zoom call. It's so empowering that they now believe, see, there's the mind shift. They believe, and they will never revert back to not believing. They might have challenges, thorns on the rose, if you will. There will be stepping stones that each of us will go through, and we'll step back, and then we'll step forward 2 steps. And yet the excitement that I thrive on and derive from giving people, women in particular, the truths about money, right? Distilling, as you said at the outset, complex terms, if you will, down to bedrock, using everyday analogies. And I just have this penchant for using analogies, and it seems to land for women. And so until I sense that it's falling on deaf ears or lying fallow, I'm going to still be there, right there with each of us and myself. These are lessons I have learned. And sometimes I have skinned my knee to the extent of it bleeding, and I put a Band-Aid on it, or I've stitched it up, and I've gone forward. And it's that camaraderie, that teamwork that I feel as a leader now with certain training in finances that I can also cheerlead and bring us forward.
So good. So good. And thank you personally. I am one of your clients. I'm part of your community for women navigating finances. I went to your conference in October. I will be there again in February. We'll tell everybody about that in just a couple of minutes. You mentioned, you know, falling down, skinning your knees, and putting a Band-Aid on it. And I think this is one of the places that we need to give ourselves permission after we've made a mistake.
Oh, that is so true. I think that we want to, in finances, fail fast. Like the first time I heard a marketer say that you want to get rid of the people that aren't your audience as swiftly as possible. And I'm like, oh my God, like I was raised Christian fundamentalist. The more, the merrier. Everybody come in, you know, family hold back, right? There's enough problems. And there certainly is. And yet we all have an ideal client, and it's best for us to know who that is. So yeah, that's a facet of business planning. And yet from our personal standpoint, we've all made mistakes. Guess what? If you are living, you are making mistakes. You are likely to make some mistakes, and it is normal to make mistakes. So also when investing, there's not an investor alive that hasn't made a mistake. And you could say, well, my mother only invested in certificates of depreciation and she never lost money.
Wait. Certificates of what?
A lot of people are calling those CDs certificates of deposit. And what is guaranteed with that certificate of deposit is that bank will never pay you more than the guaranteed interest rate. And that principal will just be returned to you in the same exact amount. Now, that would be okay if the interest were to keep pace with both inflation and income taxes, yet it doesn't, not for a New York minute. And certainly not for a long term. So if in fact you have the notion that you have come out of this money investing thing without having ever made a mistake because you've always invested in guaranteed, I'm going to suggest to you that I remember nickel ice cream cones. I remember when the richest man in our town had $100,000. I paid twice as much for my car at age 22 than my parents paid for their house. So if we're not focused upon just the present, yes, and the future and what dollars are going to need to grow by in order to purchase future costs, the goods and services that will be inflation priced in, then we are going to sink instead of swim. And there's no reason to do that, except that if you aren't trained in this and you don't have a scout that has gone ahead and come back, and then you dovetail that with that scout's or your and both intuition to bring you from untrained in finances to trained to the extent that now you have the recipe for financial prosperity, then you will falter more than is necessary. Regardless, once we falter, let's get up. The Japanese saying, fall 7 times, get up 8. We must forgive ourselves. And that is a current theme that I am absolutely impressing upon my audiences. And that is that this kind of self-flagellation, this judging, this putting ourselves in eternal jail, financial jail, we're never going to take another proactive step regarding our finances, because look at that big, huge mistake. I was in practice 43 years. I would ask people when they came in, because typically people come to a professional after they made like a big thing or big mistake, or
right, where they're going like this, oh no, what am I going to do?
Or they're facing an unknown chapter and they have enough sense to seek out professionals. And I would say, okay, so, and they'd say, oh, I really made a bad mistake. I said, okay, tell me about it. And so, oh, I did that. I said, okay, and what else? No, that's what I did. Okay, I never, and that's a big word. I very seldom use never. I never heard an issue from a personal client, and I had, what, hundreds of them, ever, that wasn't able to be recovered from, and swiftly. So we want to be assessing what moves were perhaps more judicious or more profitable than others, and learn from those. And I'm just going to say this. Because I was in the presence of a baby recently, and it's just adorable. I love to hold them. And then these toddlers, they start to walk, and everybody in the purview, the kid starts to walk, the toddler, and they fall down. No, get up, Sarah, get up. Start to walk again. They fall. Get up, Sarah, get up. Nobody said, Sarah, why isn't she walking? What the heck, So I want us to train back to the little girl and have compassion for that which she isn't trained in. And if it's money, let's join forces, because I am trained in money. And I would love to give you the cliff notes, if you will, to keep your financial car's tire out of the deepest potholes. They'll be in some potholes because they're inevitable. I want us to make fewer and fewer financial mistakes, but from those mistakes that we will inevitably make, and I have made my share of them, we will recover and we will flourish. Yes, we will. We can do it, women.
Beautiful, beautiful. And preach it, as our friend Dr. Ross would say, preach, Debra. And one of the biggest things I heard in that is removing this shroud of shame on making mistakes and failing, and what that looks like. Because like when the client would come to you, and I'm sure as you're dealing with clients now, oh, I made this mistake. Like, you don't want to tell anybody that, you invested all this money because you got a hot tip, or you think you knew what you were doing. Right? Or you lent money to family that you thought was going to come back, or you invested in a business, or you spent, like, we make lots of mistakes. Me too. But there's this thing like, oh, I don't want to tell anybody about this. And that's one of the first, we can't get to the next place until we understand where we really are. And what you said, that you never had someone come in that made a mistake that was, unable to be resolved and move forward on. Like, that's big. I want everyone to hear that, no matter what has happened or you've done in the past, this is the moment with a trained professional such as Debra for you to get out from under it. Good.
Yeah, and the action, Nancy, comes after our consent, right? Once we discern in our minds, once we make that mental shift, that's when we act differently. Once we set our intention, and sometimes we know what we want, and then sometimes I spend a lot of times with clients, and I do now in coaching. It's one of the biggest things I'm doing with people, and they often end the call with, this wasn't really that financial. It was pretty much all personal. And I say, yes, because once you set your intention, now we can formulate action steps, right? We can devise the right recipe for your prosperity. It's going to differ slightly. They're fundamentals, yes, but we want to change our mind. And how do we change our mind, right? We all know the definition of insanity. Do the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result. Insanity, right? Like, who doesn't roll their eyes at that? And who doesn't want to be named or think of themselves as insane, right? Who's gone to the doctor with a presenting problem, and the doctor says, well, do this, this, and this. You get in your car, you drive home, you say, I'm not doing any of that. What the heck, right? So at the issue of some of our stagnation, if you will, or self-flagellation, is we haven't tapped in yet to what we don't want, maybe. And that helps us shape what we do want. And so I ask our listeners and our viewers, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you? How do you feel about your financial prosperity last year? Let's just talk about last year. How do you feel about it? And the honesty is so bedrock here. If you feel great, love that. We can inch it up if it's not a 10. If you feel less than great, love that too, for the honesty. And now you have programmed your mind. I'm not going back there. That was too uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah. Sounds like we were getting into the escape hatch from insanity that you mentioned.
You bet.
And this is it. This is the escape hatch. You got to, acknowledge it, come out of it. Hey, listen, I want to tell everybody about two things, and then we're going to go on to a couple of more teachings. Then we're going to open up for question and answer. So if you've got some questions for Debra, you can put them in the chat. I'll be able to bring you on live if you're here with us on Zoom, or put them in the comments on Facebook. A couple of things that you've created to help us all. I know. So tell everyone about this Find Money Challenge that you have coming up. And you can go to, I know we've got several people on the phone. This is absolutely complimentary, a gift from Debra to you. Go to findmoneychallenge.com, findmoneychallenge.com. And I'm just going to say, with one of the tips that Debra gives you, I found $12,000. Just saying.
How about that?
Go to findmoneychallenge.com. Tell them about what this is and all the goodies.
Right. Well, having been a fiduciary financial planner, it's never far from my mind the liability. So no, everyone is not going to be guaranteed to find $12,000. Yet it could happen with you. And why wouldn't you aspire towards finding whatever money you can? And when I put this together, I had so much fun. I did a lot of work to scarf up like here and there. I was looking around for everyday opportunities because I want to make this simple for you so that you can say, oh, I've got a couple minutes. Let me tap into that. Oh, I found some money. Oh, I got a couple more minutes. And then you could actually cut and paste some of these ideas because each day is filled with a lot of them. Cut and paste them into your Outlook or your Apple or your Google Calendar and say, okay, next Friday, I'm going to try that one. And next Monday, I'm going to do that one. And so this can extend beyond the week where it's only for a week that I'm talking with you. And yet the Find Money Challenge is fun. And I want to bring fun into money because money can buy us a lot of fun. And once we loosen the grip of money being this tamped down, this thing that takes us into a bad mood or a self-defeatist mood, I want us to have fun with it. And I want us to plug into the control we have on our money. And if we look in our peripheral vision to our left, and if we look to our right, and if we look straight ahead, we have the ability to find $50 a month easily, very easily. And how about if we put that $50 a month into, and my coaching groups, I have betterment accounts started up. I don't make any money off of it. It's just an idea where we can start to put monies in systematically that we started with the pandemic money. Some people had extra money hanging around, but once you do the Find Money Challenge and you find, I'm thinking easily $20 a month or more, then that can be parlayed right into an investment for the long term. And I don't want you to look at that until 5, 10, 20 years out. And when you look at it, you're going to be like a client of mine that came to me. And I said to her, she had a DRIP program, dividend reinvestment program. And she had Pepsi stock and she had a bunch of shares. And I don't think in the day they put the total on it, which is stupid. And I said to her, you have $80 or $78,000 of Pepsi stock. And she said, I do, right? I do. And she says, I just like Pepsi. And I started investing $100 a month. Another client came to me with Exxon stock and she had so many shares, and I'm doing the quick math with my calculator, not knowing the exact price of Exxon on that day, but I knew a range. And I said to her, you have about $430,000 of Exxon stock. I thought I was going to have to resuscitate her. Why? because the power of compounding is magnificent over time. The fact is, if we can get that piece down to put some monies ahead for the long term and not look at it so much as we would put a cake in the oven following the recipe, a chocolate cake, for example, 50 minutes at 350 degrees, 50. If you want a chocolate cake, and you are following that recipe, you will not open the door at 10 minutes because you're curious, or some pundit on the media source said, oh, you better look, you better watch. Something might be happening behind that oven door. Well, something is happening. If you let it go, it will rise and it will come out as a good chocolate cake, or it will come out as an appreciated asset with the ability to buy you chocolate cakes and trips and other things. So it's that discipline that we'll adopt together and setting the expectations. But the Find Money Challenge is the start of it. And so I'm just eager to start it again. I just, come on, let's see how much money we can find. Let's tally it up.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. I love that cake analogy that you want to keep the door closed. And I am one who used to peek by opening the door. And then I realized there's a light. I could check on it by just turning on the light. And that's what you do for us. You turn on the light so that we can see and we don't have to risk things not rising. And so just join us in the Find Money Challenge. And then we're going to let you know about a one-day event that Debra's got coming up. But before we tell about that, I want to talk about this distinction between selfish and self-ist.
Oh, so key, Nancy. Thanks. Selfish, of course, is putting our own interests ahead of others, right? Like at the expense, right? To the detriment of others. And we got this down. We teach our kids, don't be selfish, share your toys. Self-ist, new term for some of us, right? Putting our own mask on first. The airlines have it right. And when we are attuned to ourself and bolstering ourself to the fullness of ourselves, we will have ample energy, skills, and time to spread that to other women in our community for sure, and exterior to our community, welcome them in a fashion that gives them the permission to honor self. So self-ist is our goal. And we understand not to be selfish, but I want us to rise our own interests at least to the level of those that you are caregiving for right now. And I don't necessarily mean the invalids, caregiving your families, your partners, your church, your synagogue, your pets, your kids,
your business.
Yeah. And so we want to be self-ist so that when someone comes along and they say, like when you're in a group and they say, they're calling off the names, right? Almost always in an adventuresome group where like maybe somebody is still behind on the mountain. Debra Morrison, you say, yeah, I'm here, right? Okay, what are you bringing? What are you bringing to this group, this sea of humanity? I want you to bring your fullest self, and you can. And I trust you will bring yourself and all of your gifts, financial and otherwise. And that, my women friends, is not selfish. That is self-ist. And it is incumbent upon us. It is also supported in the Bible for the faith-based people among us. Sometimes people think, oh, that the socialization and the church. And, again, like I invite you to watch my TEDx talk because I really struggled with that as a young girl. And I want to indicate to you, I've done a couple of vids on the permission to prosper, and I do it differently each time. And in another one, I'm bringing out all translations of the Bible where it says, absolutely, not only is it permissible to prosper, it is our charge. Try that on for size.
Beautiful. All right, so we got lots of people saying they're in for the challenge. Thank you so much. Leslie said, I've been taking care of everyone else. It's my time now. Yes, it is.
Right
Yeah,
now.
way to go, Leslie. And we're going to open up for questions. So I'll be preparing, getting everything ready for you to join us. And I want you to let everyone know about the one-day event you have coming up, the Intentionally Wealthy Women Conference. And I'll put the link in the chat for that in just a moment. And here's what I want to say before Debra even tells you about this event. If you're part of our community, chances are you know that what you focus on expands. You are someone who believes in the law of attraction or something like that, that what we think about comes about. And if you are someone who, in your intentions or your goals for this year, you want to have greater financial security, wealth, freedom, I want to ask you this question. Just like if you wanted to release weight, you would put additional time and focus on exercising and preparing your food. If you're someone who wants additional financial prosperity, how much time, not even just money, how much time are you devoting to learning about money, getting, equipped and trained and studying it? Because here's the deal. The people who are wealthy know a lot about how money works, but they don't want you to know. They want you to be confused. They want you to say, oh no, this is too hard for me. I'm just going to stay at this level, be content. No, I call BS. Just don't tell anybody. We can do this, women, and Debra is the one to lead us because she knows all those things that Wall Street doesn't want us to know. Yeah. So I'll be at the conference. It's February 24th. Debra's going to tell you all about it, but I really wanted you to presence yourself too. If I say I want more money, what are you doing to focus on money? Not from a, oh, don't focus on the money. No, go ahead, Debra. I was on my own little soapbox there for a minute.
I loved every second of that. And I'm not even sure I'm adding a whole lot. And yet I want to spend time with you, and we're going to spend 6 hours. And I know that last time people said, I didn't even think, that went by really swiftly, because I interject a lot of humanity into this. I get the fact that we are works in progress. Some of us are very untrained in money. And I want to cement that language. I have had so many women come to me over the decades. I'm horrible about money. I can't get math. It's too late for me. I mean, excuses, serious excuses that have hindered and harnessed them. And I'm going to take the bridle off. I mean, I was raised on a farm, so you're going to hear a lot of farmisms, right? Take the bridle off, and we're going to run towards our own financial empowerment. How are we going to do that? We're going to start with, where are we? Where have we come from? Let's frame some of that. Oh, I understand why she's saying that, right? You guys are going to know, like if you didn't know I was raised on a farm, all these farm analogies, the silo and everything else. Oh, of course, she's raised on a farm. So of course, this was the idea you had about money. So we're going to talk about the steps of forgiveness. And because it's not just like this, you're not going to get it instantly. And then we're going to talk about the costs of inaction, because a lot of notions that women have about money is, oh, I won't make that decision, so I know I won't make a mistake. I can't make a mistake if I don't make that decision. How about the costs of inaction? They are sometimes far more. I would probably make a statement. They are many times more, a multiple of the costs and the dollars that you may lose in an investment strategy. We're going to talk about how to formulate an investment strategy, how to keep with it. We're going to talk about the behavioral finance aspect of it, because you can know how to make money. You can understand compound interest and APR. And yet when you look at your own activities, you don't know what it costs you to live, and you haven't defined and been decisive with the deets, right? And so we're going to talk about the simple and the easy way. I'm going to really cut this down to make a lot of the noise is gone, and I'm going to get to the truth about it. And then we're going to define how our life is going to change. We're going to talk about in our investment timeline, in our goal timeline, how to overcome any kind of socialization, and talk about turbo return strategies, right? We are going to envision our new lives. And once you get that notion, once you get a couple of pictures of that one, I'm going to certainly invite you to make a vision board, but that day is going to be devoted to setting intentions about our wealth, setting intentions about our actions, because they dovetail. And I will give you a roadmap on which you can travel. And wherever you're starting, we're going to meet you. I will meet you, or I'll stay afterwards to meet you on that, to give you the confidence, because once we up-level our confidence, our self-worth and our net worth rise in tandem, women. Yes, they do.
That. Love that. All right. So go to womennavigatingfinances.com/IWW, and then you'll see the link, or just go to womennavigatingfinances.com and get your tickets for this event. Spend the day with Debra. Spend the day. If this 30 minutes has poured into you and given you value, imagine what it's going to be like spending the day with her. Tickets for the event are $97, or you can go VIP and it's $197. And of course, Debra's taking care of her WPN sisters. So what's the special that you have for the WPN sisters?
It's $47.97, I think. That 40, I did write down. That's go on the website. It's a discounted early bird price, and I think you want to grab that discounted price.
Yes, for sure. So go ahead, grab your tickets, and join her for the Intentionally Wealthy Women Conference. Like, February is the month where you get to have money. We got the Find Money Challenge. We got the conference. Like, let's do this. And we got people in queue with questions and comments. So if you have a question or comment to share with Debra today, go ahead and hit *6 on your phone, post it in the chat, or post your question in the Facebook group, and I'll make sure that we bring it. So first off, Laura Barker's in the house.
Good morning. Oh my gosh. First of all, Nancy Matthews and Debra Morrison, you are two of my absolute favorite people. And I cannot thank Nancy and WPN enough for bringing Debra to our community. You know, I went to Debra's event in the fall, and just full candor and transparency here with the community listening in. You know, I'm a successful business owner for sure, but let me just tell you guys, I've had my head in the sand about money my entire life. I've had a horrible relationship. I was one of those people who said, I just can't deal with money. It's just a nightmare. Gave me a headache just to even say the word. My dad had a bad experience with the stock market. So I was like, never, ever going to invest a penny there. So what do you do? Anyway, just horrible. Well, here comes Debra. Oh my gosh, guys. First, if it was 6 hours, Debra, I believe you, but it did not feel like that at all at that event, because what you bring is so empowering.
Good.
and just mind-blowing. And so to take it a little bit further, I have become a part of Debra's community, and she's coaching me on money. And here's what I want to say is so important that I never realized before. Debra is a phenomenal financial planner, but she's not selling me anything. Yeah. How many of you guys out there have, quote, hired a financial planner who is going to sell you a certain stock package or a certain annuity or a certain whatever, and they're going to get commissions? That's inherently a conflict. We can all see that. Working with Debra, though, you're getting all of her decades of wisdom, knowledge that she brings to the table. And guys, she can break it down so simple. I just cannot stress enough that what Nancy said is true. Unless your relationship with money is perfect and you don't even need another penny, right? If that's not you, what are you doing to improve your financial situation? You don't try to get in shape just by thinking about it, physical shape, right? You would go to the gym or whatever. You would do something.
It's like, Laura, I'm reminded what I learned from John Assaraf. he says, you know, the reason people who believe in the law of attraction, the main reason they haven't, you know, amassed the wealth and the health and the relationships is they forgot that the law of attraction requires the law of Goya.
Goya?
Uh-huh. Get off your
Yes.
So
Oh
the
my gosh.
action, right? The law of attraction must be married with, you know, paired with the law of action. Right, exactly.
Right. Oh my gosh, that's brilliant. And it's so true. So guys, if you're listening to this and you know, could use some financial advice, you have found the right place and the right woman who also must just say, Debra, you give so much. You are so generous with your wisdom and your time. And I am so thankful to know you.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, Laura.
Beautiful. Good for you, Laura. Good for you. Like, imagine how great it feels, and you can all hear in her voice how great it feels to not be a slave to your concepts about money and finance. Like that, you're like in the driver's seat again.
Right now.
Beautiful, Laura.
Yeah.
Amen. Olivia says, Goya, faith without works is dead. So that's what it is. We got to take action. So get your ticket. Go to womennavigatingfinances.com/IWW. womennavigatingfinances.com/IWW. Thank you, Laura. I want to go ahead and open up for our next caller, area code 214-694. Good morning. Your line is open. So you probably need to hit unmute on
Did you say the numbers?
It's you. It's you. Yes. Okay. Good morning.
You might be dyslexic like me. I'm like, wait. Okay. But it's me.
What's your name?
Debra Morrison.
Oh.
It is Roz. You are loved, appreciated, celebrated, cherished.
Thanks, Roz.
I am still healing and been missing some things, but I want to say this. I definitely want to be healed in my finances. When you said humanity, oh my gosh, Ms. Deb, you know, understanding our spirit man, our ego, and then that humanity, you know, that humanism about money is, oh my gosh, it's just so important. And it just took me to a lot of verses in the Bible, because the Bible has like at least 2,300 verses there that, you know, that money is right up there next to oxygen, you know, so why would we not have a good relational currency with the greenbacks? You know what I'm saying? And I was not able to make it on last year, so I'm going to get on the link. There was a conflict happening, and I'm praying that it's not a conflict for this go round. If not, I'm going to have to call you and say, hey, what is the investment to get the replay? But I really would like to be there, and I'm praying on the schedule as soon as I open it up and look at the calendar. But our relationship with money, if we haven't had a sound relationship, and it takes a lot of digging about the root and how we were learned from our family and our ancestors and how we're looking at it. So Debra Morrison, Nancy, Matthew, y'all knocked it out of the park. I so thank you. And to treat, yes, you did. Today you treat.
I'm glad you were here.
Okay.
You bet. Roz, I hope you can make it, because I always appreciate you. You know, this is such a great comment, Roz. You know, that deep rootedness of whatever might be blocking us. I have this book, Don'ts for Wives, published in 1913. And on page 25, it says, don't be satisfied to let your husband work overtime to earn money for frocks for you. Manage with fewer frocks.
Wow.
Wow. There's a lot of the, you know, the interplay between couples. And to your point, Roz, motivation isn't the cause of action. It's the result of action. So we take one action and then we're motivated. You see, it spawns us to take the next actions. And so we want to start. We want to start right now and get on a new and enhanced, rewarding, and empowered path.
Yes. Well, I love you, my sister. And thank you, because all I can say is keeping it real and being transparent, and that this is your passion and your calling, so people can be ready and say yes to change and possibility. I love you.
Love you too, babe.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Roz. Let's go ahead to our next caller, Peg Duchesne. Feel free to open your line. There we go.
Debra, thank you so much. I'm very excited. I am signed up for the challenge and VIP. So February is going to be the month. Thank you so much. It is, I always say Women's Prosperity Network is looking over our shoulders, knowing exactly what we need when. And here you are, answering the prayers. So I'm excited to take the money challenge and then to spend 6 hours plus with you. And the VIP package seems like a no-brainer. Yeah. This investment's going to yield so much fruit as a result of the work we're going to do. So thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, Peg. It's going to be a real pleasure to have you with us.
Awesome.
And a handful of women that need exactly what you are providing. So I copied down the 2 links and we'll be spreading the word.
Yeah, hey, please do. We have a great community here, but you guys have other communities. So yeah, spread the word.
Hey,
yeah,
and
for sure.
And Peg, if you would like to be an affiliate, so let's talk about multiple streams of income, giving and receiving. Right. If you want to be an affiliate, just send Debra an email and she'll get you an affiliate link so that you can share and receive. Beautiful.
I will do it. Debra, I'm an affiliate. Sign me up. I'll send you an email. Thank you so much.
All right. Beautiful. Thank you, Peg, and kudos to you.
Thanks for always looking over my shoulder and providing what we need.
You got it. You got it. All right. Beautiful. We've got a question in the chat here from an anonymous attendee. I'm not sure who that is, but the question is the conference about investing in stocks?
Oh, the conference will be about finances. My company is Women Navigating Finances. So we will be talking about identifying risks, managing risks, and investments, and income tax, and estate planning, and legacy building, and so forth. And so investing in the stock market will certainly be a component, and a rich one at that. A lot of people have found the stock market to be scary and volatile, and it is volatile. It is not scary. And we're going to distinguish that for you, make that distinguishment. And so, yes, there will be certainly an ample amount of time about the risks and the rewards of the stock market and how we can best manage that. But it's encompassed in an entirety because, like, I'm often fond of saying, one lawsuit can ruin your whole morning.
Yeah.
Right. So, people get all caught up about, oh, should I buy Tesla or Apple? Right. And then their teenage kid gets in a car and has an accident, is charged with killing or maiming a person. And you're sued for everything you're not worth. Everything you are worth, your pension, your Social Security is garnished, and you live with that over your head. I don't say you, I'm going to take, you take that you right out of there. A person lives with that. I have had clients that have been sued and they have turned their hair gray, their hair has turned gray like that, waiting for the judgment to come down to see if both their pension and their Social Security would be garnished. And it's not for heinous crimes. It's for, one of my clients was in the middle car of a 3-car accident. She was sandwiched. And she suffered that kind of angst. So we want to get rid of the angst. Some of you haven't even thought about some of the potentialities that life throws. And so I'm going to bring out life's uncertainties, and we're going to tackle the certainties. Everybody is keyed in. Okay, I've got a kid's education thing to go. That's a goal. I've got, I want to take some vacation. That's a goal. I have retirement. That's a goal. But how about life's uncertainties? We're going to talk about how to protect that aspect of your finances so that the more, I will call it mundane in terms of investing, that is chump change by comparison to managing our risk. So we're going to cover the totality of it. And guess what? There's going to be Q&A at the one day. So if I haven't tapped on what you want to tap on in terms of stocks, then you just pipe up and ask me. And then there's ample time afterwards. So yeah, come on, come on.
Beautiful. Great stuff. Get your ticket. womennavigatingfinances.com/IWW. And we've got a question in the chat. We've got a couple people online. So let's go to, I believe, Dorothy May Ross. Pastor Dorothy,
Hello.
Is that you?
Yes, it is. It is. I just want to say I love the idea of Debra Morrison just making us educated when it comes to money. I mean, in my younger days, I made some grave mistakes that I'm telling you, when I look back, I still can't laugh. I have to shake my head on it, even though it's all over with.
Yeah.
But I put in the chat, a wise man once said that a wise person needs counsel. So I need counsel because all of the men in the family, my sons, my grandsons, and brothers are always coming to me asking me about investing. I was lucky to find someone, they're retired now, but I want to make sure that later on in life that they have the money available to live and not work past retirement. I want them to be able to enjoy their lives, you know. So I do need that link for the $47 or the VIP
conference,
thing.
yeah. So go here it is. It's womennavigatingfinances.com. And actually, if you just go to womennavigatingfinances.com, right on the front page, there's a banner that says, you know, get your ticket for the event. So you can just go to womennavigatingfinances.com.
Is that live, Nancy, or is that
It's
online?
Online, a virtual event.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Attend
But
from
it's
anywhere.
not taped. I'm going to be live, so you can fire all questions live. That'll be fun.
Oh, okay. I thought this was going to be an early trip for me out of Chicago and out of
She was hopeful. Because she's shoveling snow as we speak, right?
I'm through now, but I was still listening.
Beautiful.
Good.
All right. Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
Pastor
Dorothy.
Dorothy.
Beautiful.
You're welcome.
All right. Let's go to, we should have time for one more question. 413563. I feel like that might be Victoria, but I'm not certain.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can. Did I guess right?
Oh, great. Yes, it is Victoria. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Nancy. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm so sorry I was half an hour late to a business call, but I'm so happy to find you all here. And I'm registered for the VIP, Deborah. And I, like the first woman who spoke, have had my head in the sand around money. I just always felt like I was working too hard and too exhausted to figure it all out. And so I'm hoping that this seminar will also be just I'm working an Encore business now at 67, and it's a brilliant business, but I know I have blocks around finances. So I'm hoping that this will also deal with some of that. I mean, like one of my first things today is that, and I want to be an affiliate, by the way, and is that I don't want to talk about investments because I don't have the money. So see right there, I go to something that's not empowering me. And I really know it's my time in my life that I can do this, that I can be financially free. So thank you. And tell me anything you want.
Absolutely, Victoria. And I think I heard you say up until recently, you hadn't been financially sophisticated or whatever. Let's relanguage this, girls. Let's relanguage this. We have our future ahead and we have our present right now, and we want to open the present.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Well done. Well done. Kudos to you, Victoria, being here. I love how you said an encore business. That was really cool, my friends.
Very nice.
Thank you.
I love it. Encore career. Awesome. So glad that you're here. You'll be with us at the conference. Also, be sure to get in on the Find Money Challenge. So like right now, like I love, Debra, how you set this up, that the conference is until February, but you want us to start finding money now.
Right now.
I love it. Yay. All right.
What's the step to do that?
Go to findmoneychallenge.com. Findmoneychallenge.com.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. So good.
And how do I become an affiliate?
I've written your name down. I've been taking notes for everybody who wants to be affiliates, and Debra's team will get in touch with you and give you everything you need.
Yeah, just anybody else, put your name in the chat and just say want to be an affiliate, and we'll get back.
Perfect. Awesome.
I want to say goodbye with my favorite phrase: blessings abound.
Thank you for pouring into us and all of us today. Beautiful. Thank you, Victoria.
Beautiful day. Bye-bye.
All right, we will. We are. All right, my friends, thank you for joining us for this Wow Wednesday, this eye-opening opportunity for us to all say, I'm committed to myself. I'm committed to my future. I'm committed to making friends with money. And there's no one better to support you in that than Debra Morrison. So join us for the Find Money Challenge. Go to findmoneychallenge.com, absolutely free. And the one-day event, virtual event Debra's hosting, February 24th. Go to Women Navigating Finances, and you'll see the link right on the main page. She's got a special pricing for her family here at Women's Prosperity Network, so take advantage of that now. My friend Debra, final words of wisdom.
I definitely want us women to give ourselves the permission to prosper and to give those loved ones, our loved ones, the best of us, not what's left of us. And let's manage our money. Let's manage our finances, navigate that path with fewer mistakes than if we were to go it alone. Let's go it in groups and let's become more trained. We can do it, women. Yes, we can.
Yes, yes, yes. Love that. Thank you so much, Debra. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today for this Wow Wednesday. We'll be seeing you in the Find Money Challenge. We'll be seeing you at the one-day event with Debra Morrison. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Bye, everybody. Bye, Debra.
Thanks, Nancy. Thank you, everyone.